Hello, everybody, and welcome for another masterclass organized by Cinoco Spirits on this Monday night in October 2024, the 21st of October. And even though it's kind of dreary outside and rainy and cold, we are going to the tropics and we are going to get us some sunshine in our glass. With a full lineup of 8 rums and liqueurs and fun things to taste. And we have the perfect lady to guide us through that. We have area manager for Spiribam, Charlotte Bell. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody.
How are you tonight, Charlotte?
Very good. Very happy to be here
Yeah.
with a lot of people and to be able to present and share some new bottles of rum.
All right, cool. Charlotte, you were in Berlin last week for the Berlin Bar Convent. What was
Yes.
the best new discovery that you made over there?
Oh, wow. I didn't have time to move for my stand.
You just worked.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it was very busy, but that's good news, actually.
All right,
So, yeah.
but you had
Um,
fun.
yeah. And we hosted a rum party also on Tuesday evening, and it was really packed and really fun.
All
So
right,
yeah,
so
it was a nice edition.
lots of new people got to know your products over there too.
I hope so.
All right, cool. Listen, I always like to start with something in everybody's glass so they have something to taste. So what's the first one we're going to have tonight?
So it's gonna be a white rum, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So agricole style. So it's gonna be the Canne Bleu vintage 2023.
Yep.
So it's a monovarietal rum. Clément is famous for its monovarietal rum. So we use only one type of sugar cane, the blue cane. So this one is a special vintage,
Mm-hmm.
very aromatic. Uh, you can feel definitely the raw material, the sugar cane, um, the lime, the pepper. So I think it's a very good introduction.
Yeah. I'll
Like
just
that,
put
you
the
can,
bottle on the screen for
yeah,
everybody to see while you start your introduction, so they know they can look at this beautiful bottle. So
yes, and everyone can imagine himself walking in a sugarcane field in Martinique right now because only with the nose, it's totally the kind of flavors that you have in Martinique,
mm,
the sugarcane, the freshness. And so in Martinique, you always drink your white rum with
mm-hmm,
some sugar syrup and
mm-hmm,
some lime.
mm-hmm.
It's the tea punch, very traditional drink in the Caribbean. I think it's a very good way to enjoy white rum.
Yeah.
Of course, some people they really like to drink it just like that, neat, without nothing inside. But some sugar syrup and some lime, it's always very nice. But
I once heard that the perfect recipe for tea punch is as little sugar syrup and as little lime juice as possible.
we say that like everyone is responsible for its own death. So
Yes,
in fact, the perfect tea punch will be your tea punch, like in the way you do it.
there you go.
No rules regarding the art of tea punch.
Just,
Um,
just so everybody knows, if you want to add something, if you want to share your tasting notes, if you have questions, just put them in the chat. I'll keep an eye on them and I'll pass them on to Charlotte, so we can get a little dialogue started. That's always the most fun.
yes, definitely, because we have a presentation. So I
Mhm.
will, talk about a few facts, present quickly the distilleries. But I think the most important for you is to be able to taste the product. So if you have questions, really use the chat and don't hesitate.
Yeah.
So I think the white rum is a very good introduction to the agricole style, because as you know, there is a lot of different type of rums in the world, depending on the island, depending on the history, depending on the traditions.
Hmm.
So tonight we are very lucky because we have two agricole rums, so French style, made of fresh sugarcane juice. And then we will move to Saint Lucia, which is an island very close to Martinique. 30 kilometers. But they do traditional rum, so made with molasses. So like that, we will have really two different styles of rum. So we will be able to compare them and to understand also the difference. That's, I think, the most important. So some key facts about Martinique and Saint Lucia. So you can see on the map, we are in the middle of the Caribbean. Okay. Martinique is French. In fact, it's an old French colony, and today it's still part of France. And Saint Lucia, on the opposite, is now independent, an independent island. So we speak French in Martinique. They speak English in Saint Lucia. Okay. So you have around 9 distilleries now in Martinique. So producing agricole rum, and you have only one remaining distillery in Saint Lucia. Okay, so in fact we are to present the group and the brands. We are a family-owned group, Spiribam, which is owned by a Martinican family, in fact. So we own 2 distilleries in Martinique, J.M and Clément, and we own the only distillery in Saint Lucia. Okay, Saint Lucia Distillers, who produce Chairman Reserve and Admiral Rodney.
Just to get an idea, Charlotte, about how big these islands are. Do you know how many people live there on Martinique and Saint Lucia?
Ooh, I don't have the number in mind, but I would say that, for example, if you want to travel from the south to the north of Martinique with your car, depending on the traffic, of course, because it's always something, but you need 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours and a half. So it's not that huge. You really have 2 parts, the south with the beach, the white sands, and then at the north, like the green Martinique, it's like jungle. And you will see then, you can see in the background of you can see the distillery. It's really in the middle of the jungle. It's really luxurious
more mountains over there too, I see. So.
You have a volcano, in fact.
Volcanoes,
yes. Yeah. And the distillery is located at the foot of the volcano. So that's for the big picture. So we start with Clément. We are at the south of Martinique. With this monovarietal rum. So talking about sugarcane, talking about Martinique, maybe you already know, but Martinique is the only place where you have a specific denomination, AOC in French, regarding the rum. So it's the same, for example, with wines or cheese. It's very French. We like to put a lot of rules regarding the production, but it's also, of course, a way to highlight and to protect our traditions and the know-how and the specificities also of our terroir. So that's exactly the same thing in Martinique. We have this AOC. So it starts really with the soil, like the agricultural parts. Like you can't plant sugarcane whenever you want. It's forbidden. So you have delimited area for the sugarcane field. Then the varieties also are controlled. You have a list, and then through the whole process to the bottling, you have rules to follow. For example, the whole process must takes place in Martinique. So you can't, at least for the old rum, you can't send like rums and age it in France or in Belgium if you want to be AOC. Okay, it's forbidden. Every part of the production must take place in Martinique. Okay, so that's the big particularity. So here you are tasting a monovarietal rum from Clément. So I'm just give you some facts regarding Clément. We are located, yes, in the middle center of the island, in a city called Le François. So it's just after, I think.
I see that Dirk has looked up that there's 350,000 people in Martinique and about 180,000 in Saint Lucia. So
Great, perfect.
Good
Yeah,
to know.
the two islands are totally different. Like Martinique, you can feel that it's part of France. Like, because of course, all the laws and like everything that we have in France, it's the same in Martinique. Of course, the local culture is and the story is different, fortunately, but you can feel that you have like, yeah, it's part of France. Saint Lucia, it's totally different, and it's very wild, but it's beautiful. They are totally different. I think I have never been to Jamaica, but someone told me that someone that I bring in Saint Lucia last year told me like it's more like Jamaica, like Jamaican vibes. So
Okay.
for those who have been
More loose.
already in other islands, yeah.
It's funny that you were talking about the AOC and that you like rules and regulations as Frenchmen. For me, that kind of clashes with the idea of rum. Rum is more like the Wild West and more free for me, but the French style, the agricole style, is more regulated.
Yes, a lot of islands, they are they are in the process to have like a geographical indication.
Yeah.
So at the end, it shows you that like the distillery and the island, they want to be able to highlight also their own specificities and their know-how. So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think this thing about the agricole and the AOC, it's something also very cultural. At the beginning, like if you take the story of rum back in the days, rum was produced with molasses, okay, in a traditional way. But when the beet sugar was introduced, for example, in Martinique, and then you had the volcano's eruption, for example. So it ruined a lot of small planters at that time, and they decided to go out
Yeah,
to
to grow
find
up to
rum.
yeah.
And so their reflection was like, okay, what can we do now and how can we use our sugarcane? Like we should use this sugarcane to produce agricole rum, rum directly. Okay, so it's really part of the story and the events, and so I think it's very interesting, in fact.
Yeah.
And you can be sure with all those rules that at the end, the product that you taste is a very good product.
Yeah.
Like at each step of the production is made.
It is more transparent than
great products. Yes.
it is more
A very
transparent
good quality.
than some areas where rum is produced, where it's a little more rock and roll, I guess. So
then it's different, and that's the nice thing in rums. In fact, you can find really the good rums for you, and depending on the evolution of your taste and your curiosity, it's a very nice rum. World of rum. Yeah.
World of rum. Yeah. I'll put your the screen back on the info on Clément.
Yes, like that you have some key facts. Okay, so it was founded in 1887 by Omer Clément. In fact, he was the mayor of the city, Lefrançois, so a very important man. And in fact, he bought the estate to build a distillery. And then his son took over the business, and he decided to name the rum Clément for his father. So today our master blender is Julien Timon for a few years now. And the specificity of Clément is really the aging. We have 6 different cellars. You can see behind me, it's the biggest cellars of Clément, and it's really beautiful. And we aged, in fact, a lot of casks. Okay, so at Clément, we really like to play on the oak, to do some finish also. So the aging is an important part of the distillery. And so we were the first to launch a monovarietal rums that you are tasting now. But we can switch to the second one. It's a particular product, okay, the initial, because it's straight from the colon still.
I am
Okay.
very curious about this one, Charlotte, because it's 71.4%. So we should
Yes.
probably warn people that it's 71.4%.
Yeah. So you know, usually, so to talk a little bit about the steps of the production. So you cut your sugar cane, you crush it in order to extract the maximum juice possible. Then this juice, you put it in fermentation for 24 hours, okay, with yeast to have alcohol, in fact. And then you distill with a colored still, okay? Usually, you have two choices. You can do a white rum. So in this case, you add some water, okay, for the dilution. Or you put the rum in barrel for aging, okay? So in this case, it's a white rum, but without dilution, okay? So that's why the gradation is very high, but you will see that in mouth, in fact, it's not terrible. It's very smooth, in fact. And I was also very surprised the first time I tried it. But definitely, this rum is not for everybody. It's very important when it comes to this type of specific rums with a very high ABV. It's really for people that know about rums. They are very interesting into white rum, like geek, for example. So if you have this type of rum in your wine shop, you should be also careful regarding the customer, I think. So it's a very interesting one for connoisseur.
So is this I see on the bottle that it's bottle number 4148 out of 10,000, so it's always
it's
in small batches? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a limited batch. Yeah.
Okay. And would the next batch be also at 71.4%, or could that be different?
To be honest, I'm not sure there will be another batch. It was really this idea of limited edition. At the beginning, it was more like only for Martinique, but we had some demand because we are very good rum consumers also in Europe. So we really want to give them the opportunity to try it, but it's very limited because we don't want to give this bottle to everybody.
Yeah, okay. You have to earn it to have this one.
You have to be able to taste it in a good way.
Yeah, you have to learn to know how to appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So just I was looking at the question.
Yeah, there's a question about the casks you were using. So what's the most unusual cask that you've used to do a maturation at Clément?
You know, we have a specific program at Clément, the barrel program. So in fact, it's a unique cask that you can select only for you or to share with one of your colleagues, for example. And we bottle it, and on the label we put the name or the logo of your wine shop, etc. So for this program, yes, we had some nice finish. We had for example, sake, tequila, mezcal.
All right.
Tokai as well from Hungary. So we had one grappa also with Cinoco.
Okay.
So yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
All right.
You can feel the different aromas.
About the l'initial, why is it called l'initial?
Initial means the beginning.
Okay.
So I think it's really to show that it's straight from the colon still. It begins like that.
Yeah.
And then you add water or you age it. But the first thing you have at the end of the distillation, in fact, is the initial.
I'm very curious what everybody thinks about this, so just put it in the chat. But
yeah, I see you don't think the 71.4, and I definitely I agree. I was very surprised the first time.
If you taste it blind, you wouldn't say it's 71.4. You would guess it's lower. It's like high 50s or something like that.
I think it's you have a good balance.
Would
So
you
that's
would you
important.
would you use this drink this as such, or use it in cocktails? Because on the bottle there's the recipe for tea punch, of course. But
Yeah, tea punch, of course. For other cocktails, I'm not a
yeah,
bartender, but I'm not sure. 50 degrees is very good for cocktails. 70, I don't know.
yeah,
But
it will take over easily. I guess maybe the people
yeah,
in the audience that like to make cocktails, like
yeah.
I guess Joren and Bjorn are there. Um, yeah, would you use this in a cocktail? Just put it in the chat if you want, because but it's a cool thing to taste. This one. Do you have any idea how many of these bottles are in Belgium?
Ah, very good question. Sorry. What does it say anti-française on the bottle instead of Martinique? Because for this one, we didn't ask for the AOC. It's not because it was not a question of aromatic profile and everything. It's just because, if I'm correct, it's not like when you are looking at the color of the rum, you can see that it's slightly amber. It's not translucent. You can see it. It's difficult to see. It's difficult, but
Mm.
it's not translucent because at the beginning, we had like the first idea was not to produce initial, okay? So
Hmm.
we put this rum in oak for a very, very, very short time, and then they tried it and they decided that this product was great and it was a good idea, in fact, to do a batch with that. Second thing is that back in the days, traditionally, the white rum had this color because they used to put it also for a short time in oak. So that's why we don't ask for the AOC because it's not translucent, but in fact, it's not connected to the aromatic profile or anything. So that's a good thing. You are not fun. If you want to experiment, and we will see that later with JM, if you want to experiment to do some crazy finish or something else, you are not like you don't need to ask for the AOC every time, okay?
Okay.
It's not a problem. In fact.
Yeah. So you can make basically whatever you want, and
Yeah,
so in some cases it's AOC because it holds up to the regulations, and in other
yeah,
cases it's just Antilles Françaises
yeah, and
yeah.
it's not a problem. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We will have this case also in another bottle, and you will understand why.
Yeah. Dirk has 18 bottles of Initial
Wow.
left. So Dirk has worked well already. And the
Well,
other guys from Cinoco, of course.
I think we still have a small quantity in our warehouse. Maybe yet, but yes, it was a limited edition. So
I guess it's a nice eye catcher to have a bottle like this on your shelf, 71.4% rum. I mean,
yeah, that's always interesting.
yeah.
Mm. Okay.
Jean already wants one. There you go.
No, it's a nice one. So maybe we can move forward.
Yeah, sure. Shall we pour another one? Which one will you?
What is the next one? I think it's a JM.
I think we said Fumé Volcanique to have the
Okay.
next one.
Yeah, okay. So perfect. So we go at the north of Martinique now, JM, the beautiful distillery that you can see.
Yeah,
So we are
behind
located
me.
in Mont. Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
There you go.
Very small distilleries at the north in Macuba. In fact, so we are really at the foot of the volcano. All of our sugarcane fields are grown around the distillery, okay? Because one very important thing for us is that once you cut the sugarcane, we want to go very, very quick to the distillery. Why? Because we want to preserve the freshness of the cane. Because if you don't do that, it's like an apple, you have a natural fermentation. So we want to avoid that. Um, so our cellar master is a woman for a few years now, Karine Lassalle. Volcanic soil, I talked about that. And we have one specificity, one know-how at JM, very ancestral know-how, is that we have a place at the distillery to chard our cask, to toast our cask. So in fact, if we have a ex-bourbon cask, so you can see the picture. So we put the fire inside it's very quick. But like that, you can reactivate the tannins of your cask and gives like woody, spicy notes, like tobacco notes, smoky notes to your rums. Okay. So you can recognize that in JM, JM rums, they always have their own characters and slightly spicy notes.
Yeah, and so you actually when like for example bourbon casks come in, you rechar them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For not all of them, but
Yeah.
yes, we rechart them. Yeah. And I think maybe you have us and another distillery that does it in Martinique.
Mhm.
But it's very ancestral, so we are very proud to be able to continue that today at JM.
Yeah. And that's the also for the rum that we're tasting now, the Fumé Volcanique. That's actually the specificity about this one, that it's
Yes,
extra charred.
correct. So this Fumé Volcanique is part of a range of 3 bottles. Okay, so it's the Atelier range. Because first we wanted we developed this range for cocktails, but at the end it works very well in wine shop because you can definitely drink it neat.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 different bottles. The idea was really to play with the oak and obtain at the end a very specific aromatic profile. Okay, so you have one which is like more classic, fruity, very vegetal. This one is more powerful. The ABV also is a little bit higher, very powerful, smoky notes. Okay, and the third one is a little bit more spicy.
Mm-hmm.
No spices added, nothing, but we played with the oak. For example, for this one, we used charred ex-bourbon casks, but when I say they are charred, like it's an extreme toasting of the oak. Okay,
Like alligator char with.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, correct. So that's why you have those subtle smoky notes and this power. So yeah, this one is I really like this one. Neat, even if
Mm-hmm.
it's 49, so you take the time. But for example, if you want to twist a classic daiquiri, you replace your classic rum with this one, and it will give you like yes, smoky notes, citrus, and so it's a very easy way to twist a classic cocktail, for example. So that's why I really like this one.
Yeah, so
So
the other two you talked about them, but I guess they are called the Jardin des Fruits in the Épices Créoles.
Jardin fruité and
Fruité.
épices créole, yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a mix of casks, of oak.
Mm.
And so for this one, for example, we are not AOC because the aromatic profile doesn't match 100% like a classic Martinican rum. Okay?
Okay,
It's not
so
a problem at all for us because it's an experimental range.
Mhm.
Rhum J.M is very, very known for its rums and specifically aged rum. They already have their reputation, if I can say like that. So it's not a problem if like 3 products in your range
Mhm.
are not AOC. It's not a problem at all.
Yeah. So, but the AOC goes further than just the like production methods and terroir. It's also about flavor profile.
Yeah, you have to match some flavors, of course.
Ah,
At the end
okay.
of the process, you have a tasting committee, so it's a blind tasting. So the goal of this tasting is to be sure that you don't have strange aromas and to match really the
Mhm.
classic Martinican profile. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I use
If you
this one.
don't match the flavor, it's not a problem. You can continue your aging, for example,
Yeah.
or you can decide to go out of the AOC.
Yeah, sure. But I use this one a lot in when I do rum tastings, and as you said, it was developed to be used for cocktails, but it's actually just a really nice rum
Yeah.
by itself. Yeah. I also like the fact that it's a little bit higher in ABV at 49%, so that it's Yeah, it gives it just the right amount of kick, I find. Because people are tasting, so they don't.
So this
They're
one
not.
is not aged. It's aged like 18 months, so
Mhm.
it's pretty young. Huh? That's
Yeah,
why you can feel still the raw material in this.
yeah, yeah. I like the oak smell and taste in it. Whiskey Barney's saying. I guess that's Jonas
Yeah, it
saying
comes
that.
from the oak.
Yeah,
So the next rum we will try, it's totally different because so it's part of the classic range.
it's
Uh,
totally different, but it sounds like it's similar because it's the
in
terroir
fact,
volcanique.
yeah, the terroir volcanic, so 3 years of aging, it's our VO. For this one, we also used two type of casks with different toasting. So we also played with the like chard also for this reference. So you can see
Mhm.
at GM we really like that. Huh?
Mhm. What I
Uh,
was wondering about Charlotte when we prepared this, you made the lineup, and I was kind of amazed that you put the initial so in front in the lineup in the order of rums tasted, and then we go back down in alcohol level because this one is also
yes,
is at 43%. So is there a reasoning behind that why you want to do it in this order?
well, I always prefer to start with the raw material
Mm-hmm.
to be able then to understand like the aging
Mm-hmm.
and the impact of the aging on the rums.
Sure.
So this one is a classic from JM. I would say a very good entry door, I think, into the agricole world because in fact it's not it's still easy, I would say, to drink. It's yeah, of course it has its character, the smoky notes, etc. But it's not aggressive. The balance is very good. So I think for someone who wants to discover the world of agricole rum or Martinique, I think it's a very good entry door.
Mm-hmm. It says on the bottle, Charlotte, it says double chauffe. I guess that refers to the toasting
That's
and
the
charring.
two, yeah, exactly, correct. Correct, right, yes. And I really like this one because you can see also the distillery. So for people to understand also where they are and what they are
Mm-hmm.
drinking, in fact. Um, so yes, this one works very well in France.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, and good balance, nice complexity, but I think it's not too much.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you are not a huge connoisseur, I think you will be able to enjoy this one.
Yeah. I think on the label we can see in the background that's the volcano, and that does it plays a big role in the history of the distillery, the volcano.
Yes, and more specifically in the soil
Mm-hmm.
as well, because of course you have a volcanic soil. And as I said, all our sugarcane, they grow around the distillery. So at the step of this volcano. And so
Mm-hmm.
of course it has an impact also of the sugarcane. And also we have some water that we use for the dilution that comes from this volcano. So it's naturally filtered.
Mm-hmm.
And then the river cross the distillery. And so we use this water also to do the dilution of our rums. And of course, the quality of the water that you use to dilute your rum is fundamental.
Yeah, yeah, very important.
So
It,
of course, it helps us a
is
lot.
the volcano still active?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
not good.
No, super controlled, of course, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's still active. Yeah. But you can climb on it.
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
I
it's not active
did it
like
2 years ago, and I'm alive.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess it's not active like it can explode any moment. It's just
No, no,
it's
no,
still
no.
alive and
Yes,
asleep below the jungle,
exactly.
something like that. Some more tasting notes. Usually after the third or the fourth rum, more tasting notes start to appear. So that's normal. Nice wood with a little bit more of a fruity touch. And then Dirk is also saying nice fruitiness with a minty freshness. Okay.
Yeah, this one really has also a good, I think, price and quality. So yes, very good start to entry door to the aged J.M. rums.
Yeah.
And a nice a nice bottle. Yeah.
What would the retail price be about? Maybe Dirk knows how much it is in Belgium. If you don't know straight away, Charlotte. So I guess yeah, as you said, it's a good introduction to like just the category of rhum agricole.
Mm-hmm.
Around 45, 46 euros is the retail price in Belgium. So yeah, that's really accessible, really nice starting point, I guess. There's not a lot of questions today, Charlotte. It's good. Yeah. Yeah, people are still getting used to it, I guess.
And so the next one is a great one. I think now it's my favorite in J.M. range. It's a beautiful carafe, so it's a new product. Beautiful carafe called Canopé.
Put it on the screen so people can see how beautiful it is because they have these
yes. Because
small
the
sample
box as
bottles.
well is very beautiful. So it's a carafe. So for this product, the idea was really to offer a great balance of rums. So it's a blend of several rums, of several 6 years old rums, carefully selected by the cellar master for this special carafe. So the idea here is really to obtain a very nice and elegant expression of rum. Okay, so that's why we try really to blend several liquids together.
I'll just show the inside of the box too because it's really
it's
really nicely
beautiful.
done.
Yeah. It's really beautiful. So this one is very elegant. You have the oak, but it's very smooth. It's fruity, like dried fruits. I really like this one.
So it says on the label, on the bottle, Ardèche. What does that mean in terms of how old these rums are? How much aging there was?
You can use that after 6 years of aging.
6 years of aging.
Okay. So to be able to talk about an old rum in Martinique, you should age it at least 3 years. Okay. Then VSOP is for at least 4 years, XO 6 years. And then with the XO, you can also call it an Ardèche.
Okay. Yeah. So Ardèche and XO is basically interchangeable or?
Yeah, usually you use the Ardèche, for example, for the 10 or 15 years old. But in this case, it's a blend. So you can have also older rums into the blending. So you can use Ardèche.
And why the name Canopé? What does that mean?
Canopé in French is like, the natural roof that the trees do, in fact, in the jungle.
Oh yeah. So the leaves and the branches of the trees create a roof. That's the canopy.
The leaf roof. Yeah.
All right. Dirk, I'm going to refer the question to you for the price range on this one. As you are saying that it's one of your favorite rums, Dirk. So that's
definitely.
We were saying before we started, Charlotte, that this one is quite new in the range.
Yes, we launched it a few months ago.
Okay. And
it begins with a small batch, and now the idea is really to add it into the collection.
Okay, so this one is a small batch, like limited edition, and then the idea is to get
No,
it
the
into the
idea
core
is
range.
really, yes, to be able to produce other batches,
Okay.
like to have this one is the permanent collection.
And how are the reactions from people from when you launched this?
Oh, yeah, for the vast majority, they really like it. They really
Hmm.
like it. Yeah, it's very elegant. It's a very nice sipping rum.
Hmm. It is really nice. It's really
Yeah, of course, the price is higher as well, but a
no.
nice gift
Yeah.
to
Pro
do
Professional price is
or to receive.
111.60 ex BTW ex VAT. So, but it's really good. This one. So,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
this one is the gift box as well is
Well,
beautiful.
we're getting to this end of year stage, so this is the perfect one for a gift for a good friend, something like that,
Oh, for you.
or for yourself. Yeah, why not treat yourself? There you go.
Definitely, definitely.
Maybe something that that interests me a lot is the Eden project that you have.
Yes,
You
yes. Well,
wanna?
in fact, it started yeah, 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Um, the idea was, yes, to be able to produce, but in a responsible way,
Hmm.
that it's super logical to understand when you see the beautiful place. Like, of course, you have to protect it. It's quite easy to understand. So, yeah, it started like 10 years ago. We tried to implement step by step new process and tools
Hmm.
to be able now to produce in a circular economy. So everything that we use, we are now able to yeah, to reuse that or to put it in the field to grow the sugar cane, for example. So one of the example, for example, is the sugar cane. Once you crushed the sugar cane, when you have the dry sugar cane, so it's the bagasse, you use it to for the boiler, okay,
Hmm.
for the distillery. So you
You
put it
can
in a,
burn it basically.
yeah, you burn
Yeah.
it for to yeah to for the boiler,
Hmm.
and the rest we send it to a company
Hmm.
that produce electricity with that,
Okay.
like cogeneration. So they produce electricity with the bagasse for the island, and the rest you can also put it in the field.
Like fertilizer.
Yeah, exactly. For the soil. So that's one of the example. A second one is, for example, when you distill the rum,
Hmm.
so you put it into the column. At the end, you always have like a bad rum, bad liquid. Uh, you you can't like put this bad liquid like in the nature. It's not possible.
Hmm.
So we put it first in like a big pool with bacteria in it. So the bacteria they eat. It's very like scientists, so I
Hmm.
could explain
Yeah.
very good. But they can eat the bad things into this rum. So that's the first step, and then we put it in a second pool with like bamboo
Hmm.
to filter it.
Okay.
Okay. And at the end, you are able to have a clean water that we use into the banana field or sugarcane field, for example.
All right. Also, real
So
circular. It gets more and more important, this idea of sustainability and circular economy. So it's good that you're paying
yeah,
attention to that.
especially for us, because at
Yeah.
the end, we really use like our raw materials is the sugarcane.
Yeah. You
So
live from the land.
if you don't have a good land and a good soil, you can't do anything.
Hmm.
It's not possible. Mm.
Yeah. And
So that's really the idea with this program. We are certified Bon Sucro now, so we are very proud of that. I think we are the first distillery in the French West Indies to be certified Bon Sucro. But once again, it's part of it's not a strategy. It's really part of the life of the distillery, and of course, if you want to have good rums, you should be able to have like a good soil and to produce your rum in a good way, of course.
A good life, a good soil, a good environment makes good rum.
Yeah, and for our customers too, they should be able to be proud of the bottle they will serve to their friends.
Yeah.
In every way.
Absolutely. On that, Dirk is reminding us that there's a discount of 10% today on the price without duty. So it gets cheaper by the moment to get it. Nice. Well, I really like the canopy, so it's really nice to have it in a lineup like this to have it tasted. So and I think everybody agrees.
Yeah. So with this one, we conclude our chapter of agricole style chapter.
Yeah.
To move to the second chapter with Saint Lucia rums.
Yes.
So you will see that it's very different, but very good as well.
Which one do you want to start with, Charlotte? Is it the? I think we said we would go for the Chairman's Reserve first.
Yes. So as I said, in Saint Lucia, you have only one remaining distillery, Saint Lucia Distillers, which is located in Roseau Bay. In fact, it's not far from the sea, because we don't produce molasses anymore in Saint Lucia. And that's also the case in many islands where the sugarcane business and so the molasses production is not that interesting for the population. So it's problematic, in fact. But it's the case in a lot of islands. They don't produce sugarcane or molasses anymore. So in Saint Lucia Distillers, we introduced a few years ago some sugarcane, but it's very small. And in fact, as Saint Lucia, it's an old British colony. They have a British tradition in a way of producing rums. So they use molasses, okay? Like 90% of the global production of rum is made with molasses. Agricole style is very niche, in fact.
Yeah. It's a lot smaller.
Yeah, so that's the case in Saint Lucia. We import molasses twice a year. So it's a big ship coming into the bay. And then with a pipeline, we connect the pipeline to the boats, and the molasses go straight to the distillery. Okay, so it's just a few kilometers, maybe 3 kilometers. So that's why we are located here in the Roseau Bay. We also have the Roseau River, which is very important also for us, for the reduction, for example. So as I was saying, we introduced some sugarcane also, because the big particularity of Saint Lucia Distillers is that we use molasses and sugarcane for a few rums. But we also have 4 different stills. So we have 3 different pot stills, 2 John d'Or, 1 Vendôme, and a Colon still. So in fact, we are able to do a lot of things. And for example, for Chairman Reserve, it's the art of blending. We use all the stills that we have. We can play also with the type of oak. We can use like wild yeast or classic yeast for our rum. So we really play with that because the philosophy of the distillery and of the founder of Chairman Reserve, Laurie Barnard, which was really like a visionary. And for him, the perfect rums, like it was really a blend of several rums together to obtain at the end the perfect rums, like the best rum possible. Okay, so you can see the philosophy is totally different than the philosophy of Martinique. Okay, in Martinique we don't really blend rums together, except for carafe or specific cuvée, for example. There in Saint Lucia we really blend rums together. Okay, that's also the English style, the navy style, for example. Okay. So here you have some pictures of our several stills. So we are really, really lucky to be able to use all this material to produce our rums. So molasses, no sugar added. So the Chairman Reserve 2009, it's 10 years of aging. So in fact, this one is not a blend. So 10 years of aging from the vintage 2009. Pot still. So
and it came from an ex-bourbon barrel, it says on the label.
Exact. Yeah. It's usually from ex-bourbon barrel, especially in Saint Lucia. We have some French oak in Martinique, but and in Saint Lucia they have a lot of stills. But for the classic products, I would say the classic reference, they use ex-bourbon. So just for you to be able to see the difference between the first rums we tried before. Here, the taste is totally different. Like you can feel it from molasses. It's a little bit, it's softer, it's smoother. You can feel the caramel, the vanilla.
Yeah, it tastes and it sounds a little bit strange to say, but it tastes darker.
Yes,
a little bit more
comes from the pot still.
Yeah.
Like more aromatic. I would say like when it's distilled in column still, it's maybe not more elegant, but the pot still it really express like all the deep aromas and
they really have each pot still has a character or a personality. I feel sometimes.
Yes. It can brings out like some banana, ripped mango, this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Is there, because you have these different pot stills, are there like expressions that you can taste, like this comes from that still and this comes from that still, to see the differences between them? Do you have something like that?
I couldn't say exactly because the master blender could say that, but of course you have some specificity, and then it depends. For example, the gender one is very small. So for example, for this one, we only use it with sugarcane. For example, so you have to adapt. It totally depends on the raw material and yes, the flavors.
Yeah, but you never brought out bottles from like, this is just John Doerr number 1 or
you have. Yeah,
okay, that's cool.
Yeah. For example, in the Jordan 2, you have really the mango and the banana flavors.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, it changes. So that's why at the end, it's super interesting for the master blender to be able to use all the rums, distilled in several pot stills to blend it together.
Yeah. All right. And again, then for cask maturation, you have a lot of different types of casks that you use at the distillery.
Yes. Yeah.
And this one, the Chairman's Reserve Vintage 2009, that's also like a limited edition or a small batch edition, or?
It's a limited edition because we release new vintages, not every year. It really depends on the quality of the product. But yes, so the last vintage was this one, the 2009. Just before, I think the last one was 2005, for example.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Another, because we still have the picture of also the yeast up and the fermentation. A good question from Dirk. Do you have any idea about the duration of the fermentation for this one? Because he gets some funky notes in this. So I guess he's suggesting that this one has a longer fermentation.
Yes, it's not very long. Like it's not like in Jamaica, for example. In Jamaica, they really do very long fermentation. For this one, no, it was not that long. But indeed, but it's more from the pot still as well. But yes, it's a very like fruity, flambé, banana or mango or pineapple as well. But yes, for some, let me think. Maybe for the barrel program, the specific program I was talking about, we did some longer fermentation, but it's not that common.
Just to have an idea, how much rum is produced at Saint Lucia Distillers each year? How much alcohol is distilled?
I don't have the number.
Capacity.
No. And so, for example, to give you an idea, for our bottle, the Legacy,
Hmm.
so one of our products, uh, the idea of this product was really to pay tribute and to honor Laurie Barnard. So we used molasses, sugarcane, the free pot stills and the column stills. So imagine really the complexity
Yeah.
of that blend, but that really represents the art of blending.
Yeah. So every ingredient in the closet was used to make that one.
Yeah, and then it's the work of the master blender. It's super important. Like he's working in his laboratory to be sure that the balance at the end is perfect.
Hmm.
So that's yeah, very, very different.
Are you involved in blending too sometimes, Charlotte?
Unfortunately, no.
No. You
No,
don't get to mix your own thing in the
not yet,
warehouses
not
and
yet. You know, a few years ago we did a competition
Mhm.
with German Reserve. So we offered to bartenders the possibility to create their own spiced rum because we have a great spiced rum at German Reserve produced with local spice.
Mhm.
Very, very good. So they had the opportunity to create their own spiced rum.
Yeah.
And the winners, so the winner was Greek.
Mhm.
So he had the opportunity to go to Saint Lucia, and him with the Saint Lucian bartender and the master blender, they created their own like spice rum, like
All right.
together with the master blender. So yeah, it was a nice project.
I think we have one of the contenders from Belgium here present. I think
Yeah,
Joran and
okay.
Bjorn contended in that competition too, if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
yeah,
Uh,
it's interesting.
yeah, it's a nice rum. It's completely different from the ones we've had up till now, but that's the fun part of it, I guess. So
Yeah, and that's it's also to show that I think everybody can find the good rum for his taste. In fact.
what is Eric is sharing something in the chat? Sélection
Ah,
privée.
Saint Lucian rum. Wow, I think it's an old thing, no?
Yeah, original Saint Lucia
Ah,
rum
you can see
distilled in
bottle in
Vendôme
pot
pot still.
still. Yeah, I think
Nice.
it's yeah, I think this one is old, huh? It's the first time that I see this bottle because back in the days they used to sell also rums for private bottlers, for
Hmm.
example. So now we don't do that anymore because we really want to control our production.
Hmm.
But I guess this bottle is part of the this kind of deals. Yeah, that's nice. That's funny.
Yeah, I think I remember that. Didn't and maybe Dirk can acknowledge this. Weren't there like single casks for Belgium bottled for Sinocos at some point? I think I remember that. I can be wrong, of course. About 1.5 million cases annually
Yeah,
is the
well,
production. Yeah, according to
I
Google.
don't. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I don't have the specific numbers. Um,
It's not that important as long as it's good. There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the Saint Lucia Distillers, they began to export a few years ago. Before they were not at all like into exportation. Like they used to produce rums for the local markets. So
Okay.
yeah, it started a few years ago.
And did they have to change a lot to start exporting, or did they just made the same products and started exporting them? Because
No, it's the same products.
yeah,
It's the same products, but that's why also for example, Sherman Reserve is not very famous in the world because it's quite new, in fact.
yeah.
But no, of course, the rum is really it's super important in the Central culture.
Hmm.
They love to party. They have the carnival as well. And for example, when you go there, every Friday they block like two streets and they put some music and you have a lot of bars in the street and everyone is drinking rum. So it's
Okay.
like,
Why can't we introduce that in Belgium? I think we should start doing that. Maybe one of the cavists here can do that for a nice event.
Not sure the police will be super happy about
Wow.
that, but
Give them some tea punch and they'll party with us. All right. There is still one master selection available, John Doerr 1 of 2010, bottled in 2022 at 59% ABV.
but this master selection is part of this specific profile. So it's
Yeah,
one unique cask selected by Cinoco only for Belgium.
yeah.
Very, very specific products.
Yeah, nice. I think I tasted that once. That was really nice, yeah. All right. Should we go to the Admiral?
Yeah. So this brand is also produced in Saint Lucia. But we use only the column steel for this one. So it's very, very elegant. And then it's a blend of rums. For example, for the classic range, it begins with the Princessa, a blend of rums aged from 5 to 7. Then the Royal Oak is aged from 7 to 12, if I'm not mistaken. And the oldest one is aged from 10 to 15. So for you to understand, it's really a blend also. This one is a little bit specific because it has been produced also in 2009, but we did, the rum did a finish in whiskey cask, Irish whiskey casks for 9 months.
Yeah.
So of course you can definitely feel it at the tasting. You have, yes, smoky notes. Very nice one. So Irish whiskey cask.
And do you have any idea which distillery from Ireland was used?
The brand is the Irishman.
Okay.
I need to remember the name of the distillery, but yeah, the brand is the Irishman.
Irishman, yeah, that's a known brand. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can look it up then. It's how should I put it? It's because of the finish, I think it's less rummy than the other ones we've had. It gets a little bit less sweet.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah. The impact of whiskey.
This is the kind of rum you give to a whiskey drinker to lure him into the rum.
In fact, it was interesting because, for example, I remember a fair in Hungary. It was like a whiskey show. And in fact, at the end of the day, when people, they had finished with the whiskey, they saw this bottle. And so it was really a very nice bridge from the whiskey world to the rum world, in fact. And Admiral Rodney is a great sipping rum. You don't have sugar in it, so it's dry. It's very nice. And also with a cigar, for example. Well, I don't smoke cigar, but we did a lot of evening, like cigars and rums. And for me, Admiral Rodney is a very good one. For example, this one is it's very interesting.
It's also for a rum, it's quite old. I mean, 11 years aging and then 9 months finishing, so that's quite old for tropical aging.
Old. Yeah, of course it's old because you have a great evaporation because it's very hot and humid in this part of the world. So of course the exchange you have between the air, the rum and the cask is very, very intense. This is from Walsh whiskey, correct? Yes.
Yeah, there's some discussion going on, but I think it's Jean is correct that it's Walsh whiskey.
Yes.
It's really nice, this one.
The idea of this lineup, and I think like it was successful that to present you very, very different styles of rum and very different aromatic profiles. To show you the diversity of rums. And I think it's what makes rum so interesting. In fact,
Hmm.
you can always be more curious and discover new products, new islands, and new styles.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of people think, yeah, rum is always sweet and sticky, but it's not at all, I feel.
No, rum is sweet when you add sugar in it.
Yes, there you go, there you go.
It's not
Yeah,
a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. But
yeah.
I'm always very sad when people they drink like a rum from Martinique and they really don't like it because it's very straight, it's very dry.
Hmm.
But in fact, like it's the same thing as a whiskey or a cognac, for example. It's just the raw material.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah, you just need to discover it.
Mhm. I know you know Matthias Soberon from Served by Soberon. He always says every new rum I taste, I first try it as a tea punch.
Ah,
Just with a
that's
little
good.
bit of and just to well, he also gets it neat, of course, but always do it. Try it in a tea punch, and just to give him the idea how good the quality is.
Yeah, no, definitely. And you can also do a tea punch with like a 2 years or 3 years of aging rum. Huh?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It works very well as well. Yeah.
Well, Charlotte, we've had some really nice rums,
Hmm.
and we have one last product
Yes.
to taste, which is completely different.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. In this one, we have sugar.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So a little bit of sugar, and I guess that's also why you put it all the way at the end of the
Yes, of
tasting.
course. Yes, yes, yes. So it's a liqueur from Clément. Because in the Clément range, we have an orange liqueur. It's the shrub. It's a very traditional product in Martinique. So it's rum based and then infusion of orange and local spices. Okay, so that's for the Creole shrub. Then you have the coconut liqueur, and we just launched, yeah, 2 months ago, the banana liqueur. So for the little story, we have a lot of banana around the Clément distillery. So it's ours, bananas fields. And so we really worked on a natural flavors. So for that, we extract like the flavors from the banana, from our fresh bananas, and we worked with a girl from the cosmetic industry to create the best natural aromas that we could.
Hmm.
Like, so it really began with our fresh banana. We didn't want to have like the caramelized banana. We really wanted the fresh aromas of the banana. So yes, we worked with our own extracts. So it's our own natural flavors that we put in this banana liqueur.
And you grow the bananas yourself too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. So that's yeah, a range of 3 products. So here you have the banana one that you
It's
can use yeah, in cocktails.
it's completely not what I expected. Because if you think banana liqueur, you think well, the ones I know are very much banana in your face, I would say. And this is much more subtle. It's much more
So
floral
you
for
have
me.
it's a rum base,
Yeah.
so same as for the other. But yes, we really wanted to have this fresh banana, in
Hmm.
fact.
Hmm.
So is that we tried at least.
What kind of cocktails would you make with this? I don't know any banana cocktails.
No, in fact, so you can use it in your Mai Tai, for example,
Okay.
if you want to do some like Mai Tai drinks or things like that. Or in fact, we did it at the BCB. We did like a banana spritz. Um, so with Clément, tonic water, and banana.
Okay.
So you know you have a big trends with spritz. So you can do like the classic spritz with Aperol, but you can also do the with limoncello. In fact, with the shrub, the orange one,
Hmm.
if you add just tonic water, for example, it's very good. Um, and so for the banana, we did it with Clément. Um, yeah, and of course the coconut is so nice for pina colada.
Hmm. There's also new packaging, I think, for these
Yes,
these
yes, yes.
liqueurs.
It's a new packaging. So for the shrub and the Maina cocoa, it's the same recipe,
Hmm.
but it's a new packaging. Yes.
Okay. Okay. And are there more plans to add more of these liqueurs to the range, or is three for the moment enough? Because you just added the banana one.
Yeah. For now, it's a collection of three liqueurs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are rum producers first.
Yeah. Sure,
Uh,
sure. I guess.
but
Yeah.
yeah, it's always nice to have this this range of liqueurs. Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
and for example, yeah, to drink it neat also or fresh with ice at the end of the dinner or in summer, it's also very nice.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really nice actually. I because I'm not a big banana fan, but I like this one. So yeah, I'm very curious what the real bartenders, cocktail makers would do with this to use it in cocktails. So it's not too sweet, as Jean is saying too in the chat. So
Yes. Yeah,
yeah,
it's still okay. I don't remember the level of sugar in it.
it's not on the label, I think.
Uh,
No, it's not on the
yeah, I
label.
could find it.
No, I mean,
Ah, it brings summer back, definitely. Yes.
yeah, even in these rainy days, yeah,
I agree.
absolutely.
I agree. Yeah.
Mhm. All right, I think for everybody in the chat, if there's any more questions you'd like to ask Charlotte, now is the time. Whoa, ice cream time. Yeah, I can imagine this over an ice cream, over vanilla ice. Not many questions, Charlotte. I think
Maybe
you explained
everything
it
is
too well.
clear.
Yeah, if there's no more questions, I guess milkshake for grown-ups. There
I
you
would
go.
like to know which one was your favorite during the whole
Yes.
tasting, please,
Yeah.
because it's always changed.
Yeah.
So it's always funny to see.
Yeah. So if everybody just put their favorite one from the
Yes.
lineup in the chat, we can see that. Um,
We
Maybe
have one.
while they're doing that, Charlotte, are you planning on coming back to Belgium? When can people meet you live here?
Yeah, I think we will plan that for yeah, beginning of next year. Definitely. Yeah. Of course.
Right.
Of course.
It's good because there's a lot of different favorites, so that's nice always to
Ah, a
see.
lot of canopy, huh?
Yeah, some
I
canopy,
can
but
understand.
also Initial,
Admiral Rodney.
Chairman Reserve, Vintage 2009, Admiral Rodney. There you go. It's something for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's nice to see, as you were saying already, the diversity of, well, basically three distilleries and very much diversity in the lineup. It's always nice to
Mhm.
see. And Fumé Volcanique, I like a lot too. I think that's a really nice little bit of offbeat rum that I like. So yeah,
Yeah.
and
Bon, all of them were good. That's the most important for
that's
me.
the well, you are happy now. All of them
Ending the
were good.
masterclass with a
Yeah,
free mind.
there you go.
It's
All
good.
right, Charlotte, is there something you would like to say as a final message to everybody before we close
But
the session?
just thank you for all the people that are attending this masterclass. It's always nice to be able to share and to talk about nice products with you. And at the end, you are the ambassador also for our products because you will be able to explain them, their specificities and the stories to your friends or your customers. So yeah, don't forget that you are ambassadors also. And yeah, I would like really to thank you also for that.
All right. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for taking the time to talk to us. We'll finish off the session here now, and we'll release you back into the nights of Paris because you are actually in
Yeah.
Paris at the moment, not in Martinique, unfortunately, but
No, not yet.
not yet. Thanks a lot. Hope to see you soon in Belgium, and thanks everybody for being here in the master classes. And keep an eye out for all the next events by Cinoco Spirits, and we'll hope to see you all there. I'll close the recording now. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Thank you.